2.
Ladies and gentlemen and honored guests, welcome to the state capitol for this very special event. This afternoon's Brigadier General promotion and pinning is the first socially distanced promotion during these COVID-19 times here in Hawaii at this venue. I'm Major Retired Jeff Hickman, Neal's idol, and I'm honored to be your MC this afternoon. First, an introduction of our principals for today's ceremony. Some are in the ceremonial room. Presiding over our ceremony is the Governor, State of Hawaii, the Honorable David Y. Ige, and First Lady of Hawaii, Mrs. Dawn Amano Ige. The Adjutant General for the State of Hawaii, Major General Kenneth Hara. Our honoree, Colonel Neal Mitsuyoshi, his wife Erin, and children Sophia and Ethan. Colonel Mitsuyoshi's mother-in-law, Cynthia Siu, and father-in-law, Guy Siu. Not with us physically and very socially distanced, watching from Hilo, Hawaii, Colonel Mitsuyoshi's mother and father, Dr. Karen Mitsuyoshi and Paul Mitsuyoshi. Other family members, socially distanced, are watching live from the mainland, including brother Reed, wife Inez, and daughter Jamie in Oregon. Other family in Hawaii, including Oahu, are also watching this event. Sir, I'm sure this is trending viral in a good way. At this time, we would like to also recognize our distinguished attendees in the outer lobby, observing from a safe distance. Thank you all for attending and being so accommodating. Major General Ron Clark and his wife Simona, Chief of Staff, U.S. Indo-PACOM. Major General Suzanne Veras Lum, Mobilization Assistant to the Commander, U.S. Indo-PACOM. Brigadier General Rory Coppinger Sines, Deputy Director J4 Theater Security Cooperation Directorate, U.S. Indo-PACOM. Brigadier General Moses Kauivi Jr., Hawaii Army National Guard Commander. Colonel Stephen Logan, Deputy Adjutant General, State of Hawaii, Department of Defense. And Command Sergeant Major Dana Wingad, Command Senior Enlisted Leader, Hawaii National Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome me in joining these distinguished guests. Colonel Mitsuyoshi, very much appreciate your attendance and taking time out of your busy day to be here. Mahalo. I will now read you a portion of Colonel Mitsuyoshi's biography. Colonel Neal S. Mitsuyoshi was commissioned as an engineer officer through the Army Reserve Training Corps in May of 1991. He has served in all three components of the Army National Guard, the U.S. Army Reserves, and on active duty. Some of his key assignments include Commander, 29th Brigade Special Troops Battalion, Commander, Hawaii National Guard Chemical, Biological, Radiological, Nuclear, Explosive, Enhanced Response Force Package, or the SURF-P. The G1, Military Personnel Officer, Hawaii Army National Guard. J1, Director of Manpower and Personnel, Joint Force Headquarters. Commander, 103rd Troop Command, Hawaii Army National Guard. Chief of Staff, Joint Force Headquarters, Hawaii Army National Guard, and his new position, the J4, Mobilization Assistant to U.S. Indo-Pacific Command. Colonel Mitsuyoshi has been activated on multiple National Guard civil support operations for the state of Hawaii, to include Commander of Task Force Oahu in support of Hurricane Lane, and Title 32 Deputy Commander of Joint Task Force 5-0 in support of the Hawaii lava disaster. He has also been deployed in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom as the Brigade Engineer with the 29th Infantry Brigade Combat Team as a Deputy Commander for Camp Virginia Area Support Group, Kuwait. As a civilian, Colonel Mitsuyoshi has 29 years of engineering and contracting experience in the private and public sectors and is a licensed civil engineer in the state of Hawaii. He was a consultant for 9 years at an international consulting firm and served for over 20 years as the Chief Engineer and Contracting Officer for the State of Hawaii Department of Defense. He currently continues his public service as the state's Military Support Officer and Legislative Liaison. Colonel Mitsuyoshi's civilian education includes a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from the University of Southern California and a Master of Business Administration from the Executive MBA program at the University of Hawaii. He is also a Senior Service College graduate from the U.S. Army War College Fellowship at Duke University, Sanford School of Public Policy, and is a graduate from the Senior Executives in State and Local Government program at Harvard University John F. Kennedy School of Government. Some of Colonel Mitsuyoshi's awards include the Legion of Merit, the Bronze Star, Meritorious Service Medal, 3rd Oak Leaf Cluster, and the Combat Action Badge. Colonel Mitsuyoshi was born and raised in Hilo, Hawaii. He is married to the former Miss Erin Siu, and they have two children, Sophia and Ethan. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Governor of the State of Hawaii, Governor David Waige, for his remarks.
Aloha to the Mitsuyoshi and Seo Ohana. And to the Hilo Mitsuyoshis watching this live, aloha. This is a very special day for your son, your husband, and son-in-law. There seems to be a lot of Hilo soldiers being promoted to general. All of the Haras, Kauivi, and now Mitsuyoshi. Maybe there's something in the Wailuku River or something happening. General is not a rank that is simply earned by serving time or achieving specific grades. Of course, there are education and command requirements, but generals are selected and appointed. For this prestigious level, boards recommend and Congress approves. I've been honored to host these ceremonies and pin the ranks on the generals for the Hawaii National Guard. This is the most intimate of all of them, but don't let lack of size or grandeur of this ceremony fool you. Colonel, soon to be Brigadier General Neal Mitsuyoshi, is a worthy warrior, a scholar, a father, a husband, a son. As you heard, Neal has been a very, very busy man. It's clear that he loves being in the Hawaii National Guard, where the service members and leaders are the best this nation has to offer. The experience gained during his deployment in 2005 with the 29th Infantry Brigade combat team helped shape his leadership style and skills. And Neal has been part of multiple civil support response missions in the state of Hawaii. He has served as Task Force Commander, a Deputy Joint Task Force Commander, and many staff positions below those. The missions where Neal could assist his community gave him the most satisfaction. I know we both hope the future holds fewer of these opportunities. We don't need hurricanes or disasters. Brigadier generals do not get here alone. Neal would not be here today without the support of his family. I want to acknowledge them and let them know they played a huge role in this achievement. So Neal, congratulations on all of your achievements and best wishes for a very, very bright future. Congratulations.
Thank you, Governor. Mitsuyoshi family and Colonel Mitsuyoshi, would you join the Governor for the pinning ceremony? Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated while the orders are published.
Publish the orders.
Department of Defense, National Guard Bureau, Washington, D.C. Special Order GO 142-03, dated 21 May 2020. By order of the Secretary of the Army and direction of the President, Neal S. Mitsuyoshi is extended federal recognition and appointed as a reserve of the Army in the grade of Brigadier General per 32 U.S.C. 305 and 307 and 10 U.S.C. 12211, effective 1 June 2020. By orders of the Secretary of the Army and the Air Force. Signed, Joseph L. Lingell, General, United States Air Force, Chief, National Guard Bureau. give him a round of applause. All right, thank you, Governor. And thank you, Aaron, Sophia, and Ethan. Okay, at this time, we'll unfurl the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Ige will now administer the oath of office to Brigadier General Mitsuyoshi.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Neal Mitsuyoshi,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Hawaii
and the Constitution of the State of Hawaii
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will have true faith and allegiance to the same,
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States
that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States
and the Governor of the State of Hawaii,
and the Governor of the State of Hawaii,
that I make this obligation freely
that I make this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Brigadier General
the duties of the office of Brigadier General
in the National Guard of the State of Hawaii,
in the National Guard of the State of Hawaii,
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to introduce to you Brigadier General Neal S. Mitsuyoshi.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor Ige and Mrs. Amano Ige. Just really appreciate you hosting this event and taking time out of your schedule to be here, especially in these unprecedented times. You know, I know this event is significant to me and my family, but in perspective, it's really insignificant to all that's going on in Hawaii and our nation and the world. I really appreciate, again, you taking the time. And I just want to say one other thing. It's not just the promotion of general officer. Governor Ige, you've always been there, whether it's there being there for our troops, our airmen and our soldiers returning back from deployments, or supporting all of our events with our tag, General Hara. You're always supportive as commander, and that is very comforting, and I'm truly grateful. I'd also like to thank, before I get into my remarks, Jeff Hickman, Sergeant Gavin Ching, Pam Ellison, and JP, Chief Parwan, and all of the governor's protocol and communications staff, Carol and Cindy. An event like this, really an unprecedented one to do virtually. It doesn't go or doesn't happen without a lot of support and a lot of effort, and I really appreciate that. So aloha, fellow general officers, dignitaries, my fellow guardsmen, family and friends watching on Facebook Live and here in person, all 10 of us here present today. Thank you for taking your valuable time to join my family and I in this short virtual ceremony. If you attend these events, you will typically hear a couple of reoccurring themes, and two words are very common when folks get promoted. They refer to being humbled and being honored, and that's exactly how I feel. But sometimes those words are glazed over and the remarks move on. So today, I'd like to take a moment to go over and really express what those words mean and how important they are. Growing and promoting soldiers is one of the most important things that the Army does, because the Army is really in the business of people. And the sacred trust that is asked of leaders to ensure that our young men and women are supremely prepared and are postured in the best possible circumstances to succeed, especially because those soldiers selflessly and willingly put their lives in harm's way, always for a greater purpose than their own. Being a part of this organization that has those kinds of dedicated, selfless individuals and values, that is humbling. Knowing what has been invested by the American people and Congress and putting that trust in someone to support and lead soldiers, that is humbling. And standing here in person and virtually before so many great leaders, peers, fellow service members, and friends, and to be able to share this moment with my family, that is truly humbling. And speaking of family, I want to start out by thanking two of the most important people in my family, my mom and dad. Unfortunately, they're not able to be here today because of the pandemic and because they live on the Big Island. And I know this is really hard for them, not just technically figuring out how to get onto Facebook Live, but not being here, especially for my mom. But Aaron and I hope, like many others trying to cope and survive COVID-19, that this small inconvenience today will mean many more memorable times for us tomorrow. So stay safe, Mom and Dad, and know that I love you and appreciate everything that you do. So, how does a public school kid from Hilo, whose grandparents worked on a plantation and a papaya farm, have an opportunity like this? I took some time to reflect on this question, and I seem to always come back to three core things. First, it always goes back to my family and my parents and my brother Reed. They intrinsically set the foundation and the values that were ingrained in me through endless support and patience. And I've had a mom that was a school teacher and a principal who was a fantastic educator, and a tireless left-brain dad that never stopped working to support his family. He was always the last one home, working long days and on weekends to ensure we had what we needed. Second, there were those invaluable, essential experiences. Some great, some not so much, some met with success, some met with failure, but all meaningful and all absolutely necessary. And finally, I believe I was blessed to have been around an unfair amount of remarkable people, both as civilians and as a soldier. None of us is smarter than all of us, and I have had the help of so many smart leaders, friends, peers, co-workers who have helped shape my thinking and success. One of the greatest lessons my folks taught me was about humility. Their lesson about humility begins with the rice plant and how important rice is to Japan. But as important as this plant is to its country, the more bountiful the plant becomes, the lower the plant bows. Being in Hawaii, we get exposed to a lot of different cultures, and there is something to be learned from all of them. I've always appreciated that particular lesson, and so it is with great humility that I say to those that have been part of my small journey, Okage-sama Day. And for those that don't know what that means or are unfamiliar with this kotowaza, Okage-sama Day means I am what I am because of you. It's the most sincere way I know how to express gratitude to those who have been a part of who I am. And I'd like to publicly acknowledge and thank some of those individuals here today and online, starting with a few friends and leaders at US Indo-PACOM. Major Varislum, thank you. You have been a valued friend ever since we deployed with the brigade to Iraq back in 2005. Great times and bad times. You are a tremendous mentor and someone that many of us in the Guard look up to. Major General Clark and Simona, Aaron and I are so glad that we became friends during our War College Fellowship. And how ironically, how you're back here in Hawaii. You know, in case you didn't notice, yes, General Clark and I are classmates, but obviously one was much smarter and progressed significantly faster. So sir, thank you for being here. Brigadier Copinger Symes, who has been my main chap in helping me transition to the J4MA. Rory, thanks, and look forward to working with you and General Hellwig as he gets on board. And Major General Davidson, who, if she is listening, I wish you all the best in your recent and well-deserved retirement and express my sincere thanks for all that you have done to bring me to the J4. It's been a series of serendipity, and I know I would not have this opportunity if each of you had not had faith in me and supported me in getting me onto this team. And Admiral Davidson, I also want to personally thank you for this opportunity. I know you're probably right now in Congress testifying, but your support and by name request to join our team at US Indo-PACOM really means a lot. And I'm excited about this assignment, especially working on those rocks related to engineering. And I look forward to serving under your enormous command. Major General Hara, my other boss, who I've worked with and had the privilege of working with on many key assignments as a battalion commander, as a deputy commander during the Lava mission, and now again as your MSO, as the Adjutant General for the state of Hawaii. It's starting to look like, sir, that you might be stuck with me. And good thing he's not shaking his head. But hopefully that is a good thing. But in seriousness, sir, you know, more than anyone, you have helped push me outside of my comfort zone and provided me with the mentorship, the hard mentorship, that has immensely helped me throughout my 20 years career with the Guard. And for that, I am truly grateful. To a few of the former tags and commanding generals I have worked for, Major Generals Edward Richardson, Ed Correa, Bob Lee, Darrell Wong, Joe Logan, and Gary Hara, and also Brigadier Generals Moses Kawivi, Bruce Oliveira, Keith Tamashiro, Gary Ishikawa, Clarence Agena, and Joe Kim. Working for each of you has been an invaluable experience. You each are unique and phenomenal leaders in your own way. Some have been part of pinnacle points in my career, like Major General Richardson, who brought me over to the National Guard from the US Army Reserves to be his engineer, and Major General Gary Hara, who was my first commander in the Guard, and General Hara's brother, who set the tone for what it meant to be an officer in the Guard. And others like Moses, Bruce, and Keith that have not only taken me under their wing and mentored me, but who are also life friends. To my peers and my engineer colleagues, Stuart, Ron, Steve, Tracy, Roger, Roy, Walt, Mark, James, sorry, I'm going to go through a few, Tyson, Mike, Rusty, TJ, and 3 lieutenant colonels in particular, Paul, Phoebe, and Stan, thank you. You're all great go-to-war with friends that I'll keep long after we're out of service. And Senior Enlisted Leader, Sergeant Major Wingad. Thank you for reading the orders today. I turn to you to represent all the NCOs and soldiers like you that have always supported me. You know, we have some of the best and brightest in the Guard, and they are breaking new ground and proving it every day, even as we speak. And to my second family, Guy and Cynthia, thank you for everything you do for Aaron and me, and for always making me feel a part of your family, and perhaps most importantly, for producing such a wonderful daughter. I love you both. And finally, to my life partner and my best friend, and our Aaron, and our amazing kids, Sophie and Ethan. The only thing better than being a soldier in the Army National Guard is being a husband and a father to this family. Thank you for not only giving, but for everything that you have given up for the Guard and for myself. Hun, I know I wouldn't be here today if I didn't have you standing beside me. And this is just as much a promotion for me as it is for you. The funny thing is that every time I get promoted, no matter what I get promoted to, Erin always seems to outrank me. I think she gets some kind of special orders from the POTUS right after I get my orders that makes me outrank her. But you know what? I'm good with that because I know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So Erin, okage-sama de. You are the best of us. Thank you all again for sharing this moment with me and my family. And Governor Ige and Mrs. Ige, thank you again for opening up and hosting this event. I look forward to continuing to serve in this great state and this great nation. Please stay safe and healthy, and mahalo nui loa.
Thank you, Brigadier General Mitsuyoshi. At this time, we'd like to conclude today's ceremony with the singing of the Army song. March along, sing our song, we're the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. Then it's hi, hi, hey, the army's on its way. Count off the cadence loud and strong. For where we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the formal ceremony. On behalf of Governor Ige, Major General Hara, Brigadier General Mitsuyoshi and his family, mahalo nui loa for attending today's ceremony. Thank you.